Hello, my name is Bruce Stronach, past president of Yokohama City University, past dean of Temple University's campus in Japan, otherwise known as TUJ. I'm now a visiting scholar at National Taiwan University. When I became dean of TUJ in Tokyo, one of the people in Temple University that I started to develop a relationship with was Dr. Hailong Dai, who is Taiwanese and is a graduate of National Taiwan University and still has very close ties here. And we, over the years, became great friends, and when he became provost, he became my direct report boss, and so our relationship became even closer. And then later in his career, he became vice president for the Office of International Affairs. So when I retired from Temple in 2020, I returned to the United States, to my home state of Maine, and was enjoying retirement. But then I realized, I really want to go back to work again. Between my decision to go back to work and taking that new position in Boston, Dr. Dai asked me, would you like to go to National Taiwan University for the fall semester of 2022? And I thought, well, I would love to. So that's how this all started. I'm teaching Japan in the Age of Globalization. I love my students, they're really good. What's really interesting about the class is, I would say about 50% of my students are international students. I'm just really enjoying the class, in part because both Japan and globalization are areas in which I obviously have been very interested in my life, so the ability to teach it and to teach it to students who are really into the class, it's a great experience.
Everyone in this class, although we are from different cultures, although we may have different backgrounds, we all sit here and we learn something that we're interested in.
Bruce was a very kind professor. He was very nice. He was always open to any questions that we had, and he answered them to the best of his abilities. He always made us feel very welcome, and he's very funny as well. So it was very nice to be here in his class and to feel like I was really a part of something bigger.
This class has brought to me a new perspective on things, as I can look into Japan's role in the process of globalization, either in the age of imperialism or in this modern era of globalization as in the narrow meaning of it. Like, I can see it from Japan's perspective, I can see it from China's perspective, I can see it from the American perspective, or I can see it from the global perspective.
The influence of Japan that's so obvious here, the commercial, cultural influence, the social media influence, the popular cultural influence, and the general positive affect of Taiwanese to Japan. In particular, I think the way that I'm going to utilize my time here and what I've learned here is by integrating the obvious influence of globalization on both Taiwan and Japan in my courses. So that's really what has become very interesting to me and is also very obvious to me. Elements of globalization that I see in the relationship, which I'm really going to incorporate into my teaching and my writing. Yeah, one of the most fascinating things about National Taiwan University to me is, of course, being Teikoku Daigaku, which in Japanese means Imperial University. That was one of the things that first struck me when I came in 2007, was the similarity in architecture in many ways, and the older buildings, of course, which is just a really classic 1920s Japanese university building. And I was at Keio University for many years, and when I first walked into that building, I thought, goodness, it looks just like, the old buildings at Keio University. In Japan right now, it's probably about 5 degrees in Tokyo. In my home state in Maine, it's like -10. So just being here in this very, very different climate, then obviously the horticulture, the landscaping is different. I mean, if you look behind us, it's a nice fall scene that you would see in maybe October. So it's very comfortable for me as someone who has worked for many years in Japanese universities.